All right. Welcome to Corner Class Tampa, the recap show. And today we're going to talk about inventory, specifically the lack of inventory, and what, as an investor, we can do about that. So, if you are interested in how you can make money today in today's low inventory environment, this is the show for you. See you on the other side. And we're back. So again, my name is David Carmena. I'm the host of Corner Class Tampa. And today we're going to talk about no inventory. You know, it's out there. Everybody's reporting on it. CNN is reporting on lack of inventory. See the housing market talk about the increase in supplies. Wood is I saw a joke the other day where someone had two pieces of plywood, and they said that they would trade it for a Porsche. And the joke is that don't lowball me. I know what I have. I mean, it's just it is just crazy out there with the lack of inventory and the high cost of materials. But as in every situation, there's opportunities. And as an investor, our job is to really focus on and take advantage of those opportunities. What can we do about lack of inventory, and how can we as investors take advantage of it? That's the name of the game, guys. So last class, we talked about a couple of different things as it relates to inventory and how to go out and increase your hustle and get inventory. Our first point that we covered last show was the fact that it is a seller's market. And so there's nothing you can do about that, guys. I mean, when you have a supply and demand, in this particular case, there are not enough homes for the demand. So the seller is at an advantage. They have an advantage. And you see that with multiple offers that are on properties. You have properties that are listed for a certain price, and you get 5, 10 or more offers over the asking price. And as always, it's a situation where cash is king. So for investors or for buyers that are not using cash, then they're financing it and they're putting a lot more down to make the offer enticing, as well as they're going over the purchase price. So the fact that is a seller's market, that is advantageous to us. That is something that we want, because if we have inventory or we can get inventory, we will get a better price. And that means that our ROI would be better, would have a better ROI for the same house that we would have purchased a couple of months back and got a lesser ROI. So it's a good time for investors that it is a seller's market. We talked about guerrilla investing. Now with guerrilla investing, these next couple of points that I'm making is how we can find inventory in a low inventory environment. And the way we can find inventory is, again, increase our hustle. One way to increase the hustle is guerrilla marketing. What that means is that I'm sure you guys seen that out there. You have those bandit signs, and you have, I will buy houses any condition, for and close quickly, for no money or no closing costs, or we help you with uh, your closing or any condition of the home. So guerrilla marketing, you're going to see more. That's one way, one technique where you can reach out to potential sellers to see if they're interested in selling their home to you. Now remember, that is assuming that you have looked at the comps, the price to offer, what a potential ROI would be. Of course, you don't have the property, so you don't know, the true acquisition costs, or you don't know, may not know what repairs are necessary to get that ROI that potential ROI that you have already identified. So guerrilla marketing, one way of reaching out to sellers. Another way is tax records. Now, on every on every home that is purchased in the state of Florida, you go to the county records, and they would have the owner of that home. Well, there are some special cases actually, that they may not show owners of the home. If you are elected official, in some cases, if you're a lawyer, work for the city. I mean, there's some cases where you may not know who the owner is. But in most cases, the large majority of the cases, you can go to public records, and you can find out the owner of that particular property. And from the public records, you can use other softwares, I call to lump them all into a category. You can say skip tracing software. So you can use some type of skip tracing software to identify the phone number and the address of that particular owner, because it may have changed since since the last time they updated public records. Reach out to the owner and say, hey, listen, I see that your home is, delinquent, owe some back taxes, or maybe there's code enforcement or some other something else that's going on with the house. Are you interested in selling the home? They're going to tell you yes or no, or they may ask, give me a price, which goes back to, again, knowing your market. You need to know in general what the ROI is for that particular market. And so when one of the things we're going to discuss later on is driving for dollars. So you're going to know basically the market, the area. And so when you call and the owner says, you know what, I am thinking about selling that home, give me a price. You will have an idea of what to offer. Again, they may think that the condition of the house is a little bit different from what it is. They may think that, because it is a seller market, that their home is worth more than what it actually may be worth, or they price themselves out of the deal because there's not any skin in the game. Let me give an example. If you're driving in an area and the median home price in that area is 180,000, okay, and the owner, and you've seen this house because you drove down the street and you kind of identified this particular property, and you kind of looked in and peeked in the windows, and you noticed that it needs a new roof and some other things, and maybe the AC is gone, and it's just really in bad shape, and you've estimated that it would take, let's say, 50,000 to really bring this home to a point where you can get an after repair ARI on the home at 180. Okay, So you call you go to public records and you call the person up, and the guy is nice and pleasant. You say, yes, I'm interested in selling the home. And you say, well, what price are you interested in? Well, how, if we can come to a deal, what price will you be interested in selling the home at? And he says, well, I'm thinking about, maybe 140. And immediately, if you can't talk that person down, then if they want to sell it for 140, your acquisition cost is 140. Plus you got to put 50,000 in repairs in, and the home will only sell for 180. That's not a good deal for you. So some ways of getting around that, guys, is, you can, if you have photos, if you're taking photos of the property, you can send those photos in. If you know that the property is distressed, then you can, mention that, hey, it's going to get foreclosed on and you're going to get nothing from it. Let's see if we can, we can come to some arrangement. I've done my due diligence. You only owe $40,000 on a home, or you own a home free and clear, but your back taxes are, $20,000, let's say, in back taxes and fines. So you say, you're going to lose the home to, and you want to practice your speech. So I'm being a little bit more direct than what I would normally be with the owner. But in essence, I would say, hey, listen, the house is in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure. You owe $40,000 on the home, and probably the penalty to the bank, because the foreclosure process, there are fees that they tack on to that principal and interest. Okay, so you owe $20,000 in back taxes. So let's say you 40,000 plus 10,000 in fees to the bank, then 20,000 in for taxes, and reduce your code violation. So that brings us to $70,000. That is a hard number for you. Why don't I give you another 20,000 on top of that, and see if we can make the deal at 90,000? And so you're positioning that, because that, again, it's going to cost you 50,000 to repair. So that means that you're 140,000 in, 50,000 repair. You want to pay the owner 70,000 for his hard costs, plus 20,000 as equity in the home. Again, that brings you at 140. You can sell it for 180, $40,000. You're going to have some legal real estate fees that's associated with that. You're going to have some title transfer fees that's associated with that. You got to pay doc stamps and all those other things that goes along with the transfer of property from the owner to you, and then from you to the ultimate buyer. So $40,000, let's say you got 10,000 for the real estate transaction piece. You're walking away with $30,000. You're risking 140-ish, $150,000 to get a $30,000 ROI. That is a good risk. If you're skilled, and that there's not a whole lot of other surprises. If you are want more, or if you think that there's a whole lot of unknowns, and you want to again have like a contingency fund, so that you won't be surprised, and you still get your ROI, because at the end of the day, guys, this is a business, and you do want to make a return on investment. So a tax record and driving for dollars, those are two key components that are necessary when you are trying to get more inventory in the market. Okay. All right. So I have driven for dollars. I've talked to the tax record, and then I mentioned this a little bit earlier. How do I contact the owner? What could I do? And what verbiage should I use? We'll talk about that after the break. Stop your All right. All right. So let's recap. Seller's market, not a lot of inventory. That's a known. One way that we can increase as an investor, increase inventory, our acquisition is through guerrilla marketing, tax record, and driving for dollars. Those are ways that we can identify opportunities as an investor. Okay. Now we've done that. We have a potential home that we want to contact the owner. How do we do that? Well, the best way is texting and calling. Okay. Text first and then call. Uh, that's kind of counterintuitive, but most of the time, if you look at the open rate of a text versus any other medium, it is, you know, 10, 15, 20 times open rate. Most people will see a text and respond to a text in the 85 to 95 percentile. Okay, so that means that 9 times out of 10, if you send a text to someone, at least they've seen it. If you send an email, you may have a 10 to 15% open rate if you're lucky. And if you call that person, most people don't answer phone calls if they don't know who's calling or if it's an area code that they're not familiar with. So investing in a good texting software is pretty important, and it's a good idea to do that. And then you would follow up with a phone call. So you text the person, hey, are you interested in I'm an investor in the Tampa Bay area. Are you interested in selling your home in 1234 Main Street? And they're going to say yes or no, maybe, or, maybe they text back what price and that type of deal. And then you say, hey, listen, do you have 5 minutes? I'll give you a call. Let's talk about it. So that is an excellent way to open up the possibility of you purchasing the home, the seller selling the home, and you guys coming to an agreement. Now, it would help to know or have an idea what cost or what liability the seller has for that particular home. So you might want to have, when you have it schedule that time to talk to that person, do your due diligence, know if he's behind on taxes, try to see if there are any code violations out there, have an idea of the repair value, so that when you are talking to the person, you're not wasting each other's time. I hate it when someone calls and says, hey, listen, I want to buy your home on 1234 Main Street. Okay. It's tell me more about it. How many beds and baths? How many is, they know nothing about the home. So if you've done some due diligence and say, hey, listen, that this home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, because you looked on public records, that person owes taxes. That that person have code violations. Have that available. That sets you apart from just the cold calling, non-professional rehabber or investor. That sets you apart. Hey, listen, I know your pain. I feel your pain. I can potentially help you with your pain. Let's see if we can make a deal. These are the costs I'm aware of. Are there any other costs that you need or need to be taken care of for the acquisition of this home? Someone called me, this was about a year ago, and he said, it was a she, and said, David, I know you guys buy homes at Carmena Acquisitions. Um, come take a look at my home. I know you guys buy. You have a reputation of offering a fair deal. Just come and take a look at the home. Sure enough, I go down there, and she's in our conversation. She says that I just want to my liabilities in the home. I want to pay out the mortgage. I want to pay out my taxes and that type of thing, and I need $20,000 for this. I'm not going to say what it is because we don't know the reach, and I don't want to put anybody on blast. But she needed $20,000 above what she owed for her to be good. And yeah, I could have taken advantage of but you never do that. If the numbers work and you can afford to give that person an extra $20,000 because you've done your homework and you did the due diligence and it's a win-win, do it. And that's what I did. I gave her what she needed. My team purchased the home, and it was a great, it was a great transaction. It was what I call a win-win, because she got what she needed. Ultimately, the home sold for right around where I thought it would sell for. I made enough money to keep the lights on. That's a win-win. So be professional. Reach out. Know the property. It's not just a big net. If they say they want to have a meeting with you on and to talk about their property on 1234 Main Street, then know the property statistics. It's public record. Go to public record. It'll tell you if a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It'll tell you the square footage. It'll tell you all those things. So just know that. Okay. All right. So and then the last one is develop a team. So once the owner says yes, then it's time to, hopefully you have a team together before you you get into a place where you need it. So you need to have a team ready to go so that you can start the property as soon as you acquire it. So most people will develop or join a team. And the team would, you kind of put the team on notice, and the team would be ready to go when you acquire the property. So developing and joining a team, or being part of a team and having your team ready on standby is super important, because there is a carrying cost. When you acquire a property, if you're using hard money or even your money, if you're using hard money, you definitely have a carrying cost. If you're using your money, it's an opportunity loss. If your money is tied up in a property, then you are not able to use that money to acquire another property. So if you have in your mind that the rehab should take 60 days and it takes 6 months, then your carrying cost is opportunity cost is way over where it needs to be, and you are, you're just bleeding money at that point. So having that solid team is crucial when you are ready to acquire a property. All right, so that is the recap for corner class 25 that we covered last week. Now, here's what's nice is that in these recap shows, we can add content and material, and we can add, I like to mix it up and have some fun and have like a little bonus. So I have a bonus for you guys. I'm going to show you our latest acquisition for Carmena Acquisitions. We bought this property in last month, and we have already started working on it. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what we bought and how we are using the low inventory and the fact that it is a seller's market to our advantage. Stay tuned. All right, so we're here at the latest Carmena Acquisitions property here in Apollo Beach, and we have Vern. Vern is our head guy that is doing the work here. He has his own crew. Let's go take a look and see what we're doing. So Vern, yes, sir. You have already started to paint the garage door and the outside, doing some work out here. We're gonna have that white, and then the house gonna be white, right?
Yes, we're gonna change that. We're gonna leave the garage door gray.
Okay. And then so this is gonna be a black fence.
Black, and this is all gonna be white.
White. We're gonna have our accent fence of gray here, accent fence. All right, so let's go in. Now you're gonna do something really nice with this courtyard. And this is what I really like about this particular property is that, you know, you have this private area, and I love inside outside dining. So you have this private area that we're gonna put like some pavers down.
Correct, with some rock in the middle of it. We're probably gonna paint it. It's gonna something really stand out in the ceiling.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Let's talk about the front door while we're here.
Okay.
Not
No, go ahead.
we're thinking about a nice half round, either a half round or an oval for the front door. We haven't made up our mind yet, and the door is going to possibly be painted red.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there will be a new light out here.
Yes, stainless steel light, probably one of those motion sensor jobs. And here is, we've done, I wish you guys would have seen the before picture, because this is a total transformation. We only purchased this property end of last month, and we've already got some paint done. And I love my favorite color, the agreeable gray. I love that. And we're gonna put in a whole new kitchen here, right, Vern?
Yes, sir.
So we demoed the old kitchen.
What we did is we put a knee wall in here for the cabinets, so we can put a nice ledge on here for a breakfast bar, so the kids can do their homework while mom is cooking and helping, or anything else that, or you know, adults want to sit here and have this beverages with some nice pendulum lights hanging down here. What we did here is we kind of flip-flopped the refrigerator, so when you open the refrigerator, you got access right to the thing or the stove with another pantry here, and I think that's going to be
Yeah, awesome. And then here, all new cabinetry. We're gonna put a new range here, stainless steel, cabinets up top, and then we're gonna have a pantry right about there, nice extra pantry. So what's nice about it is this new design of the kitchen is that you have plenty of shelving. We have some space here. We have the pantry, and then we have Vern's idea of having an additional pantry here. Awesome. Let's go on and take some more another look at some of the other bedrooms. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. So we have our guy here working. But we're gonna have a bedroom here, a bedroom here. Our bath here, and then we have the master here, nice size. There's a nice walk-in closet.
You can open it.
Yes. And then we have a master bath here. So, like I said, we're moving pretty quickly on this one. Just wanted to get you guys checking in, show you what our latest acquisition is, and then we're gonna have a final reveal a little bit later on in the month. Stay grinding. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that to our private Facebook group. We're going to add that video package to our private Facebook group. So if you want to follow along on that particular project, again, we're going to call that the Apollo Beach project. So we're finishing up the 83rd Street project, and we have the Apollo Beach project going. If you want to follow along, just feel free to join our private Facebook group. Is Corner Class Tampa. If you just look under groups on Facebook, Google Corner Class Tampa, it'll come up. Request to join, answer a couple of questions, and we'll let you in. So the group is for investors and people that are interested in purchasing a home, maybe buy and hold or quickly resell and wholesale. This is not a group for professionals, real estate professionals that are trying to, solicit other members in the group. But if you're interested in really learning how to play the real estate game, learning how to invest in real estate in the Tampa Bay area, and these techniques can be used outside of the Bay Area, consider joining the group. It really is a great way to see the nuts and bolts of how to invest. And we give a lot of additional content, a lot of content that is exclusive to members in that group. And so again, we're going to add this video package to our closed group, Corner Class Tampa. And if you are interested in joining that group, go to Facebook, search for Corner Class Tampa, ask to join the group, and we'll let you in. All right. So again, we had a great show today, and we talked about how to invest in a market with no inventory and how to take advantage of it. So if that is something that you are interested in doing, now is the time to do it. Real estate is really, really on fire. So if you can get inventory in a no inventory environment, you're going to maximize your ROI. Stay grinding.